Welcome to session on Introduction to Design Patterns from SATI Learning Unlock Possibilities. What is design pattern? In software engineering, a design pattern is a general repeatable solution to a commonly occurring problem in software design. So as a developer or a lead or a architect, we are facing lot of problems in software design. As a technical people, we need to come up with a design actually. So for the design, it should be a very proven design. So that's where the design pattern helps the software development team. A design pattern isn't a finished design that can be transformed directly into code. That we need to understand. It's not a ready-made solution. It's only the description or template for how to solve the problem that can be used in many different situations. So this is the problem solving solution for the problem which we are facing in our software. Let's see what are the types of design patterns available. The first one is creational design patterns. The second one is structural design patterns. The third one is behavioral design patterns. What are the advantages of design patterns? The design patterns can speed up the development process because it's providing tested and proven development paradigms. As we are reusing the design pattern helps to prevent suitable issues that can cause major problems. So what are the problems we are facing majorly in our solution that will be solved, and also it's helping us to reuse the solution in all the places, and it's improve code readability for coders and architects familiar with the pattern within given time. So it's helping us a lot to come up with a solution within short span of time actually. Often people only understand how to apply certain software design techniques to certain problems. So that is based on our experience. So we have faced some problems and we created a design. So when the same situation occurs again, we know that how to solve this problem. But when the broader range of problems comes into picture, we will be taking struggle and we need to prove that design is correct and we need to test it. So it will take more time actually. So that's where the design pattern is a big advantage. This is proved solution. It's a documented, so it doesn't require to be tied up with any particular problem. So this can be applied for any problem based on the three different types actually. The design patterns allow developers to communicate using well-known, well-understood names for software interactions. So when we are presenting our design solution and when we communicate these are the design patterns I have used, then people understand it very fast. So the communicating is a very good way actually. So when we are using the design pattern, common design patterns can be improved over time, making them more robust than ad hoc design. So we are making ad hoc design whenever we are facing the problem. So but when we are using the design patterns, this is very proactive way of facing the problem and providing the solution to the problem. Let's see the type of design patterns one by one. The first one is creational design patterns. The creational design patterns are all about class instantiation. So how you are instantiating the class object. This pattern can be further divided into class creation patterns and object creational patterns. So it's again divided into two types actually, subtypes. While class creation patterns use inheritance efficiently in the instantiation process. So in the class creation we are using the inheritance. When it's come to the object creation patterns, we are using the delegation efficiently to get the object done. So there are 6 different subtype of creational design patterns. One is the abstract factory, builder factory, factory method, object pool, prototype and singleton. So in my YouTube channel I have already created a singleton design pattern in sample and example, and I have explained the concept. So I will provide the link in the YouTube description. You can go and watch actually. For other design patterns I will work on it, and I will create a new tutorial and I will post it. Let's see the case study for the creational design patterns. So if you have a huge project with a lot of classes, a lot of classes means you are going to deal with a lot of objects, and parallelly you will be creating a lot of object and started doing the transaction. So that's create a lot of problem in the application. So you need to create a different objects like a new customer, new product, new invoice, etc. If these objects creations are sacred in the client code, it leads to lot of complicated logic at the client code. So when we have a client and server methodology, so we will be facing a lot of problems. If the object creations are not centralized, then it leads to very complicated code. The creational design pattern centralizes the object creation logic actually. So the example is when we are using the singleton design pattern. So the singleton design pattern is used to create the database object, only one instantiation of the object in the particular environment. So instead of that, if ever request started creating a new database connection, so the database RDMS will be hanged actually. Okay, so it will be there is a performance issue will be there. So that's why only one object of the database connection will be created. And also this same concept is used for creating the log files and centralized repository if you want to update any details, or when we are using synchronized thread to access the centralized location. So these kind of the use cases suitable for the creational design patterns. Let's see the next type of the design pattern. The next type is structural design patterns. Structural patterns explain how to assemble object and class into larger structure while keeping these structures flexible and efficient. Suppose assume that you are going to one car manufacturing company. So they will create all the parts in separately, and they will have the assembly unit. In that assembly unit, they will assemble all the individual parts of the car, and they will create a car actually. So how this structure and assembling is happening, and when there is a change comes in the structure of the car assembly, so this should not lead to problem, or it should not lead to change the structure. It's a time taking actually, like it should not take long time to change the structure of the assembly of the car. So this is the one example for structural design patterns. So there are 7 different types of patterns are there: adapter, bridge, composite, decorator, facade, flyweight proxy. So in next sessions we will see individual design patterns. So let's see the one more use case for the structural design patterns. Sometimes you need to change the structure of a class, or you can say the relationship between the class, but you don't want the project to be affected. So you have created the basic architecture, the design, but the structure is changing actually. The structure of the design and architecture is changing, but that should not affect the project. For example, if you have a customer and product class, and the product class is used inside the customer class, making one-to-many relationship. We have one-to-many relationship. So one customer will have multiple products. For example, like when you are going to Amazon as a customer, individual customer, and you are shopping 10 different products. So the customer will have a one-to-many relationship to the product actually. Tomorrow, as the product proceeds, the customer want to keep away the product class as they want to use the product and the customer class independently. For example, you have two address. As a customer, you have two address. The one is official address, another one is home address. So as a customer, you want to send a courier different products to different locations, and you are making one single payment for this actually. So you have to remove this one-to-many relationship with customer and product objects. So when we want to make this kind of structural change, that's where the structural design pattern helps us actually. This is a structural change and you don't want this structural change to affect your project. This is where structural design pattern helps us. Let's see the third type of design patterns, that is behavioral design patterns. These design patterns are all about class objects communication. So how you are communicating one object to another object, and when there is a change in the communication and the behavior of the change in communication happens, how you are making the change without affecting the projects. That is very important. So for these kind of problems, behavioral design patterns will be very useful. There are different type of behavioral design patterns: chain of responsibility, command, iterator, mediator, facade, memento, observer, state, strategy, template design pattern, and visitor design patterns. Let's see the case study for behavioral design patterns. Sometimes you want to change the behavior of a class and you want it to affect other class of the projects. Okay, for example, you have an invoice class which currently applying taxes as 18%. So now, as you know, we are having a state government GST and the central government GST. So this behavior of the tax is changed. Okay, so the tax for the goods and the separate tax for the central government GST and state government GST. Okay, so then this behavior is changing actually. The tax has been increased from 18 to 20%, plus within that you are adding a 2 subclasses. Tomorrow, if you have to add another extra tax, as I mentioned, that means you are changing the behavior of a class. To solve such type of behavioral issues, behavior design patterns comes into picture. Hope this case studies will help you to understand the usage of the design pattern in real-time projects. So thanks for watching the video, and please subscribe and please like and share with your friends. I will come up with more exciting videos.